When I read through the readings for this 11th Sunday of Ordinary Time, I found myself starting an interesting journey on rediscovering the ideas of team building. I have collected a library of books which I constantly dip into as my thoughts gather. Today I pulled out books on how to lead, group dynamics for teams, and to my surprise, Plato's Republic. Peter Edwards, an editor for Lost for Words, warns that those who start long, rambling and possibly funny stories may find their audience switching off, and only to return to the present when the punchline arrives. Then he connects this to today's Gospel, giving us a list of names of 12 apostles, to which only a few may be remembered. The story of the Republic has the philosopher Socrates and a moneymaker Cephalus in conversation. Socrates asks his companion how he makes his money. Was it from inheritance or through his own efforts? Cephalus tells of the fortune his grandfather made, that his father squandered, but that he himself replenished to a suitable level to leave no more than he had inherited to his sons. Socrates asked why he was not interested in money. Socrates was curious because he recognized that self-made people tended to focus only on what they had made and are boring to talk to. Cephalus was not like this, and he explained that when you perceive death drawing near, fear takes hold as you wonder if you have been unjust to others. The fear of being sent to Hades haunted him. The conversation turned towards justice and how everyone should bring good to others and not harm. As the two philosophized, their ideas expanded out on how to create a just society, the central theme being that this could not be achieved on one's own. It required a body of people working together to meet the needs of all. Socrates and Cephalus in Plato's story recognized that each person had their own gifts, areas of expertise that could help others, but in turn required the services of others to meet their needs. The experience I have gained over the years has been in filmmaking, and I have taught the subject. There are many parts to constructing a film: generating ideas, turning them into scripts, storyboarding, budgeting, scheduling, acting, cinematography, sound recording, editing and distribution, and much more. For an individual to undertake all the work necessary would take too much time and leave a person exhausted. So it is important to find others you can work with to build up a team, which not only takes away much of the pressure, but allows everyone to enjoy the process. When my wife and I had renovations done on our home, we discussed our needs with a building constructor who worked out a budget based on the designs we wanted, then organized a range of master tradespeople to come in and do their work in specific areas. Talking to many, they often only saw their bit and not the whole picture. So we invited them back to have a look, and they were pleased to see how their work fitted in to the finished renovations. Daniel Levi, in his book Group Dynamics for Teams, talks about how teams develop in stages and are often not very productive in the early parts of the project. It usually took a day or so for a film crew to fall into sync with one another. Then things sped up as everyone was on the same wavelength. Joe Owen's book How to Lead suggests several ways to lead others. Some include motivation, by caring for others, rewarding effort, giving purpose, and building community. Leaders set direction and delegate to others, recognizing the skills they bring and trusting their ability, empowering the team without delegating the leader's responsibility. If things go wrong, the leader is to blame. Today's gospel highlights how Jesus, seeing the people like a flock without a shepherd, in other words, leaderless, needs his team, the disciples, to go out and meet their needs. He gave the disciples authority over unclean spirits, so they had the power to cast out demons and to cure all illnesses. Jesus had gathered his disciples over the preceding 2 chapters of Matthew's Gospel, giving them instruction to the point where his words had a deep impression because of the way he taught with authority. Then he cured a leper, a centurion's servant, Peter's mother-in-law, and many others, so that his disciples could see what he had said put into practice. He calmed a storm, cast a legion of demons into a herd of pigs, cured a paralytic, the woman with the hemorrhage, 2 blind men, and a man struck dumb. The disciples were given authority to go, ready to carry out their mission. Throughout our lives, our Lord gives us a range of experiences which help to develop our character. We all live and work in different communities, helping to make other people's lives better. We may have been dealt blows and been harmed unfairly, but this is what shapes who we are. Our Lord calls us today to be his witnesses, not to judge, but to show kindness and to help where we can. On our own, we are limited and we can become overwhelmed, but together we can do much. The harvest is rich, but the laborers are few. How is the Lord calling you?